gonna do something that I haven't done in a while. I'm just gonna shoot the shit right now, and I'm actually gonna be talking about something that kind of pops up in my mind. Usually when I have a little cup of coffee, usually when I'm relaxing or whatever, something will pop in my head and I'll do a video. So, I might actually do more of these because honestly, some of the WWE articles are fucking garbage. Today we're going to be discussing, is 2016 in WWE going to be worse than 2015? It's a discussion that has been talked about on various outlets. It's been, moderately covered, but, I thought I'd, go into detail about it and, why this year could be even worse than 2015. In order to understand this, we have to look at it as this. Is it WWE you're trying to be you ever seen like the parent, you all know, like an older gentleman that's trying to be hip with the kids, he's like, yo dog, it's WWE here. I could just imagine Vince McMahon doing that shit, and he's like, yo man, how's it going dog? Yeah, man, I'm hip. That's the way WWE to me is looking like. It's looking like it's trying to appeal to, like, the younger generation, but it's just failing on every aspect. And even my generation, those that were born in 1990 to now, it's not even appealing to that generation either. Even, there was reports saying that actually men over the age of 40 primarily watch WWE, which is kind of interesting, actually. There was, if you actually check out some of the research, there was actually investment in saying that gentlemen over the age of 40 still watch WWE, even more so than children. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. We're going to shoot the shit and we're going to talk about this. 2015, let's compare the build-up to that WrestleMania to this build-up. Last year's WrestleMania, the build-up wasn't great, but there was matches on there that were good. So what we're going to do is we're going to compare the card from last year's WrestleMania to this year's WrestleMania. Most of the matches have been set, but we're going to go into detail right now about it. So we're going to check it out. Let's get into the matches that happened at WrestleMania 31 that took place on March 29th, 2015. So let's get into the card right now and let's compare this shit, okay? Let's go down the card. Okay, so obviously you had a packed full match. Your pre-show, nothing really irrelevant. It was all tag matches, which it's kind of funny that the pre-show kind of aspect is what dominates the middle of Raw, okay? Big Show won by a last man elimination by Damien Mizdow. It was vastly hated. That was another pre-show. Then you had Daniel Bryan defeated Bad News Barrett, R-Truth, Dean Ambrose, Luke Harper, Dolph Ziggler, and Stardust were there. All in all, it was a pretty good match. I personally thought Daniel Bryan did pretty well in that match. I think that as it stands, it's his last match now, which is kind of interesting. Randy Orton defeated Seth Rollins, which was an actual good match. Randy Orton defeated Seth Rollins. Triple H defeated Sting. Which, all in all, the ending was garbage, but, in saying that, at least you had some incentive there, okay? AJ Lee and Paige defeated the Bella Twins. In terms of female matches, that's kinda good, but at the same time, it's like, what's the Divas doing now? John Cena defeated Rusev. There was actually a lot of build-up to that match. Undertaker defeated Bray Wyatt. The match wasn't great, but still, the build-up wasn't great, but the match might turn out okay. Seth Rollins defeated Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns. So Seth Rollins, obviously, you all know he cashed in Money in the Bank. So all in all, the build-up wasn't great to WrestleMania, but the matches were kind of good. So let's get into WrestleMania 32, okay? Obviously, as a lot of you know, it's taking place in April 3rd, 2016. Let's go through the matches, okay? Now, like I said, compare WrestleMania 31 to this card, right? Triple H versus Roman Reigns, alright, they are building it up slightly, okay, but again, nobody gives a fuck about Roman Reigns, and no one particularly wants Triple H holding the championship, so again, there's not much to lose, there's nothing really, in there. Shane McMahon versus The Undertaker, again, it is what it is, it's one of the most mismatched matches I've seen. It's like, I kind of look at myself and I say, did I want this? I think it did. Did I want this? That's kind of like the match. The build-up, honestly, is awful. And the worst thing is that this feud is making me actually cheer for Shane McMahon. I actually want Shane McMahon to beat The Undertaker. Which is, WWE in terms of a storyline when you're trying to get Shane to beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. It's just ridiculous. Like, if you did this match last year, or you did this, like, 3 or 4 years ago, people would actually have laughed at this match. This is what a lot of people seem to forget. A lot of people think that this is, like, a big money match. If you actually compare this match, like, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, or 6 years ago, people would have actually genuinely fucking laughed at this match. They would say, alright, well, let's go to the other big matches. But no, out of the card, this is probably one of the big matches. You had Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar. Again, they haven't really built up to... They have kind of, but again, it's like Dean versus Brock Lesnar. Dean's been mostly building up to Roadblock, so now they are now going to be building up to him versus Brock Lesnar, and you would like to think that Dean would win this match, but by the looks of it, Brock Lesnar isn't happy. It's a no-holds-barred street fight, but again, it's a great match on card, but it's nothing special. Charlotte versus Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. Again, I have to be honest with you, I really couldn't give a shit. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Again, nobody really gives a fuck about it. Nobody could give a crap. Honestly. Garbage. The Usos versus the Dudley Boys in a tag team match. The titles aren't on the line. At all, so what's the point doing this? That's the 6 matches possibly out of 9 that they could do, but what we're looking at right now is the meat and potatoes of this pay-per-view. And again, this is what you have to state. The fact is that could this year be worse? And we have to compare the two. Although last year was horrible, it was god-awful, at least they had a good WrestleMania card. This WrestleMania build-up is god-awful, and the card is fucking awful. I have to be honest with you, I think this card is god-awful. I don't even give a shit about WrestleMania. And it does beg the question, is 2016 going to be worse than 2015? Because 2015, they had a great WrestleMania, but the rest was garbage, okay? The rest, let's be honest, 2015, the rest was garbage. Maybe apart from WrestleMania, the rest was garbage, okay? At least you had, like, Seth Rollins there, and people even back then were complaining about Seth Rollins, but now people would literally give an arm and a leg for Seth Rollins to be on this card. You see what I mean? Here's the thing, though, with this card especially, it's essentially saying, if WrestleMania is garbage, then what's going to happen to the rest? That's the problem. 2016 might be even worse than 2015. And again, it boggles my mind how WWE, and we're seeing a pattern here. We've noticed this since, ever since The Miz and faced John Cena, there's been kind of ups and downs in WWE. You had The Rock, which was great, against John Cena the first time. Second one, not so much. Then you had, you had CM Punk there, shit like that. He left, not a lot of investment. What we're seeing is a pattern. The pattern is that over the last few years, WWE were kind of good, bad, good, bad, good. Then once it hit 2014, down the shitter. It's going down. It's not even like, it might be good here or up there or whatever. If you look at consistently over 2015, all the pay-per-views were god-awful. And as it stands right now, in 2016, all the pay-per-views are god-awful. Which begs the question, is anyone going to watch wrestling? That's another thing. I've even questioned it. Hey, I've been doing this shit for 5 years. But there's times where even I question myself, should I keep watching this? I will say this, I will be taking maybe a break after WrestleMania, because honestly, Raw was on, right? And I was watching it, I was like, what's this or repeats of Sons of Anarchy? Now, you have to bear in mind, Sons of Anarchy, a repeated show that I've already seen. I'd rather watch that than Raw, or a pay-per-view. In fact, I barely watched Roadblock. It was unwatchable. So, again, it begs the question, what's going to go down in 2016? And I honestly am saying this right now, I think 2016 might be worse than 2015. Our expectations, see, this is the thing, is that there are people out there that were actually praising Roadblock. And a lot of people are wondering why. And the reason being is because their expectations have been so lowered, it gets to a point where they say, okay, well, something kind of good. Yay, it's great, yay. It's because they've lowered their expectations so low that they don't know what the fuck they want. It's kind of like watching a bad movie, right? It's kind of like watching a bad movie, and you know it's going to be bad, but there's like some outrageous, funny thing that happens in the movie, and you're kind of like, oh, it was great. The movie was garbage, but that was great. Yeah, you know, that's kind of like what's happening with WWE, but the problem is some WWE fans, that they see one good thing, and they're like, yay, oh my god, Raw was good. No, it was fucking garbage. Like, there was actually people writing on Twitter, writing on Facebook, and said that Raw last night was actually good. No. You have to, and again, I hate to say this, but I can't believe I'm repeating myself here, but it's quite simple, okay? If you, for example, if you are essentially watching Raw, right, and there is one good thing, but the rest of the show is garbage, right? Then the show is garbage. I'm sorry, just because there was one good thing in it, you have to analyze the show throughout. The show is 3 hours, which I will say again, is reason why all this, see that line again I was talking about from 2014 to 2016? There's a reason why, and that's because Raw's 3 hours. Most movies, okay, I'll give you an example. A Captain America Civil War, okay? Captain America Civil War, okay, is going to be the longest Marvel movie ever. That movie is 2.5 hours long. That, in movie standpoints, is fucking long. But Raw, however, are putting out 3 hours every single week. Okay? Here's the thing with WWE. The United States clocks went back yesterday. And I actually watched Raw. At the start, I watched Raw, okay? And I watched the first 2 hours. So technically, I was reasonably awake. It was midnight, but I was reasonably awake. I watched the first 2 hours of it because the clocks went back, right? And after 2 hours, I got extremely bored because of the middle part. It's a combination of the hours, the 3 hours, it's a combination of that, and also the shit that's in the middle. You know what I mean? Honestly, I was staying up. I was like going, alright, when's Taker and Shane? Like, I didn't care about the other things that happened. If there are people that don't care about the matches, then clearly you need to reduce it to 2 hours. It's that simple. Don't be an idiot. Don't be a fucking moron, okay? But that's all I gotta say about the situation. I haven't done this in a while. I really am thinking of doing more kind of style videos like this. There's a lot I kind of wanted to say and shit like that, but anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. This is General Jerry on the General Jerry channel, signing out.